Tonight at a youth basketball practice, I did a small experiment. The coach wanted me to work on dribbling and finishing drills. And so one of the things that I was interested in was what types of drills encourage players to keep their heads up when dribbling, so as opposed to looking at the ball. So I started off and I played a couple tag games first. And as I watched the majority of the players as they played these games, their eyes didn't focus on the ball as they were dribbling. Their eyes focused, if they were the person who was their eyes were focused on whoever they were chasing. And if they were being chased, their eyes were focused more or less straight ahead, trying to figure out where they were going to run to get away from the person who was trying to tag them. So then, after playing the tag games, then I moved and I simplified and did more of a standard ball handling drill. Basic. I did my baseline shuffle drill, so just some basic change of direction moves and basic, basic dribbling drill. It's one of the more simple drills that I use. And as I watched, I and two of the other coaches that were there, before we started and during the performance of the drill, encouraged the players, told the players exactly where to look. So we told them to look at the basket at the other end of the court. And on more than one occasion, all of the coaches and us, we were telling the different players, eyes up, look ahead, look at the basket down there, etc., etc. When we were playing the tag games, none of the coaches said to a player to get your eyes up. And I don't think it's because we weren't paying attention to it. I think it was a fact that when they were playing tag, they weren't looking at the ball as much because there was an external something for them to concentrate on. So in a basic ball handling drill or dribbling drill, where you're just dribbling by yourself, there's no defense, there's no real objective other than performing whatever the pattern is. There's nothing really to focus on. Even as we did, we told them to focus on the basket. But the basket's not providing any information to them at that moment. The only thing providing information to the player on the performance of the drill is the ball and whether they're controlling the ball. Whereas in a tag game, they have to read their opponent and also have awareness of where they are on a court. And so the location on the court and their opponent are providing the information that's relevant to the success in the game. And so I think that's one thing that's underestimated and probably not even considered when we think about designing drills. So in the tag game, there's a natural inclination not to look at the ball because we have to take in information from other sources to be successful. If you were to look at the ball, you would have little to no success in that game because you wouldn't see the players coming to tag you. You wouldn't know how to get away from those players. You might not be as aware of where you are on the court. If you're concentrating on the ball, it might get stuck in a position that's disadvantageous. Whereas in a stationary or a simpler ball handling drill where there's no defense, or there's nothing else providing information, the ball is the only thing that's providing the information. So therefore, you're drawn to the ball. Your attention is drawn to the ball to see whether or not you're dribbling it correctly. So after we played or did the simple drills, then we played 1-on-2, 2-on-1. And again, in that drill, I didn't see a lot of players who were looking at the ball. Their moves weren't perfect. They made mistakes. They didn't always dribble with their eyes up. Sometimes their eyes, weren't as high as I would like them, especially as they're dribbling in for layups. Sometimes they got their eyes up too late to finish their layups because they were either concentrating on the defense, maybe they took a small look at the ball. But again, one of the things is there's information in the environment that they're having to perceive. So they're figuring out where the defense is, where they are in relation to the court, and they can't attend to the ball. And so having the defense, having the objective of scoring, etc., in a dribbling drill changes the focus and changes the player's attention, and it draws the player's attention away from the ball, which is ultimately what has to happen in a game. And so I think, again, we spend a lot of time on simple drills, thinking that that's how we develop control and confidence with the ball, and then that's going to transfer to more complex situations when we have defense, and so then players will be better able to dribble without looking at the ball. But I think, again, if we start with these more complex situations, such as tag, is my favorite, it naturally takes vision away from the ball, and the players have to adjust and learn how to dribble while not looking at the ball and taking in information from their environment in the same type of way that they're going to do in a game. So again, I think it's another instance where sometimes we simplify the drills too much, and because we lose the perception and we're not training the perception and the action together, the transfer might not be as great. And if the transfer is not great, then in essence, those drills aren't really doing anything productive. So again, I would look at more complex drills, having something in the environment that the player has to perceive, whether it's doing dribbling drills with finishing, with defense, where the location on the court maybe is important, but something in the environment that, forces players to attend to something away from themselves and away from the ball.